Carolyn would kick this off, but she can't be here today. So I'm thrilled to be able to do this because I am a massive fan of Anthony Gonzalez's and Carla as well. They work for a company called Handoff that Anthony founded and is the CEO of. But even before that, or maybe around the same time that the organization was started, Anthony joined the board. And I love this story because when I started Elevate Plus, I had a lot of people reach out saying, "Hey, we love what you're doing. How can I help?" And I would give them things that I needed, sort of little assignments. And most often, I would never hear from those people again. But not only did Anthony do that and ask how can he help, I gave him some to-dos. He did all of them and kept coming back and saying, "What else can I do?" And we kind of knew each other through our work industry a little bit, or at least knew of each other, but we weren't really connected in any way. But I will say, we formed a really great, lasting friendship through that. And he made such a positive impression on me that I asked him to join the Elevate Plus board. So not only is he an amazing entrepreneur, very dynamic guy, brings a great perspective to his work, but also the work that Elevate Plus does. He's a real go-getter in the market. He's a marketing guru. Um, he's also a good friend through this, and he's also one of my bosses because the board of an organization makes sure that the people running the organization are doing what they need to do. So, with all of those things, we're really lucky to have Anthony with us today. And this is something he's done with us for several years now. It's a very popular session. So I'm going to shut up and get out of the way and let Anthony get to it. Thank you, Anthony, for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Carla, for supporting. As Andrew mentioned, I'm Anthony Gonzalez. I'm the founder and CEO of Handoff. We are a recruiting and staffing company that help companies here in the US leverage talent from Latin America. And part of the success that we've had in the company has been based on my brand and the recognition that I have that really is highly driven through LinkedIn. We have Carla here, who's on our marketing team that drives a lot of our brand strategy and execution. And one of the main pillars is LinkedIn, both for our company, and then she also helps drive and amplify my voice through my LinkedIn. So she supports me to actually have a strategy for my LinkedIn profile posting and the full execution. And so we're excited to be here today to talk to you all about how you can also leverage LinkedIn, as you're going out there into the job market and you're growing. So without further ado, I'm just gonna hop right into it and maybe we can get started with some introductions. Before we do that, most of you have your cameras off, so I need to change my settings because I can't see names or anything. So I have camera off, hide non-video participants off. I want to be able to see if people are raising their hands and stuff like that. Give me one second. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Now, we'll remind people it's great if you can, unless you're in a place where you just cannot put your camera on, please do put your
Oh
camera
my
on.
goodness, here we go. Standard side by side. There we go. Okay, hello. Rita, Angel, Andre. We can see Joyce's picture at least in there, even though you have your camera off.
There she
Okay. Okay, here we go. I see y'all. So let's just do something real quick. So if you already have a LinkedIn profile, there is like the raise your hand function that you can leverage here in the Zoom. Can you guys give me a electronic raise hand or just put your hand up? How many of you guys have a LinkedIn profile already? Okay. Okay, right on. Almost the majority of folks on here. Okay, go ahead and take your hands down now. How many people posted in the last 30 days? Okay, nice. Fantastic. Okay, go ahead and lower your hands. It's the last one, I promise. Who has gotten a job lead through LinkedIn or an internship opportunity? Okay, nice. I love to see it. Okay, so there's some proof in the room that this thing actually works. And I'm sure a lot of you already know that. And if you don't, hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be a believer in LinkedIn. So I would like to just, if you go around the room really quickly, this will help me understand what you're studying, where you're trying to go in your career. Just keep it super brief, but just three things. If you want to just introduce yourself, your name, what you're majoring in, and your dream career would be fantastic. I'm just going to start with who's on my grid next. So, Angel or Angel, could you go first?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for taking your time out of your day and giving this course and um speak telling your story and your journey. Not just all, but through LinkedIn. Um, Again, my name is Angel, or Angel. I go either or. My major is computer science and finance. Um, I want to go through either fintech and software, um, or maybe real estate analysis. I have some experience on all three, so somewhere within the department.
Fantastic. Okay, Andre.
Yeah, so obviously my name is Andre Rogers. I graduated, my major was global commerce. And I would say my dream career would probably be working in like finance or like wealth management and then slowly trying to make a career into private equity. So, yeah.
Great. Is it Rita or Rita?
Hi everyone. My name is Wida. I go to University in Madison. I'm a double major in police science and Spanish. I have some teaching experience, so I would love to be a Spanish teacher too. And I would like to go to law school after.
Amazing. Joyce.
Hi, my name is Joyce. And my major is chemistry with a master's in teaching program and teaching students with disability certificate. And my dream career is to be a high school chemistry teacher.
Beautiful. Niera? Forgive me if I'm butchering the name.
No, it's okay. Hi, my name's Naira. I go to Drew. My major is psychology with a minor in teaching, and my dream career is like something in education, but right now my goal is becoming a school psychologist.
All right. Love it. All right. Edwidge?
Hi, my name is Edwidge. I'm currently a student at the University of Connecticut as a nursing major. My goal is to become a registered nurse, although I am still trying to figure out what I want to specialize in.
Great. All right. We got Nicholas.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Fenellis. I am a political science and communications double major at American University. Um, Dream career would probably either be something in the government sector or possibly go to law school.
Great. Great to meet you. Carolina?
Hi, my name is Carolina. I go by Carol. I'm studying game design at NYU, and my dream career would be something related to animation and games.
Nice. Thank you, Carol. Faith?
Hi, my name is Faith. I am a public policy and management major at Cleveland State, and I believe A dream career of mine would be is to be either a policy advisor or a policy analyst.
Amazing. Thank you. Celeste?
Hi, my name is Celeste St. Louis. I'm a rising senior study in mass communications at Lincoln University of Pennsylvania, and my dream career will either be working as a sports journalist for the or for a professional sports team, or doing public relations for like the sports industry.
Very cool. Thank you, Celeste. And then I think is Andres or Andre actually? Or do we already do that? Oh,
Yeah, I already run. I can go
oh
again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think I'm just seeing your note taker. Is that you right there? The
Yeah.
otter?
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
really
right
know how
on.
to take that out of the Zoom.
Oh,
I'm sorry about
no
that.
worries. No, no worries at all. A lot of good stuff in here. So great to have some additional notes. So thank you all. It's absolute pleasure to meet you, have you here. It's really great to hear what you're aspiring towards. I'm excited to continue to watch your journey after we connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, go ahead, Carla. Yeah, so LinkedIn, like when I was coming up in the job market, I just had to submit a resume and just wait and hope somebody called me. So today, recruiters, they're searching for you before you even apply. And your LinkedIn profile is probably going to be the first thing that someone sees a lot of the time. So before they maybe see your resume, before they see your GPA, before they even see a cover letter. So this is like the first impression basically that someone is going to have on you and your brand basically. How many of you have Googled somebody before you met them? Before you meet up with someone, a date, whatever the case is, like I think a lot of us have done it. Recruiters, the same way. They're going to potentially Google you, throw you into an LLM, into an AI chat, and hop on LinkedIn to see what they can find. So just think of it as your resume is something that gets submitted, and your LinkedIn is something that actually gets discovered. And the numbers don't lie. So every 6 minutes, somebody is hired through LinkedIn. That's crazy. And 10,000 people are applying for jobs every minute on LinkedIn. So again, this is somewhere that recruiters are going to spend more time than looking at your resume. Think of your resume as a snapshot, and your LinkedIn is a living profile. So it's dynamic, it changes in real time. Recruiters will go on there, they'll look for different keywords that are in your about section and your headline and your experience. And then even further than that, the hiring managers will actually go in there to see your activity. So they want to, like we hire a lot of people at Handoff for our clients and for our team that's growing. And when I hop into somebody's LinkedIn, I go to their post because I want to see what they're actually saying, to their audience. What other people are they interacting with? What type of engagement are they getting? What comments do people have about them? And it really tells a picture better than I can get out of a resume. And then the connections on LinkedIn are going to be that's our gold. Those are future opportunities. Those are the ways that doors will be able to open for you. So your profile is working for you 24/7, even when you're asleep. This thing is a beast. It just keeps going nonstop. So it's really important. And you don't need to have 10 years of experience. You just need it to look like this is somebody that I want to take a chance on, someone that I can get a glimpse into who they are.
Okay, so now I'm jumping in. Hi, everybody. My name is Carla. I'm from Mexico, and I've been working here at the Handoff team for a little bit. And I'm very, very passionate about brand building. I majored in marketing. I had a background in social studies as well. And something that is just a passion of mine is personal relations and just the PR part of it. And how do you build a brand for a company, for a person? And it has so many layers. And I feel like sometimes we forget that you don't have to be speaking of a giant company. You sometimes are just talking about yourself, and that is a brand. And that is something that you have full power and control over. And something that I think is very important is that when we're young, we might not see the dimensions and the extent that our personal brand can go to and how much it can grow. And I remember being in college and not wanting to really work on my LinkedIn profile, for example, because I used to think this is not something that is going to be important. I was thinking of pursuing a career in the entertainment world, for example, and I was like, they're not going to look at LinkedIn. Wrong, they do. There is a bubble for every single industry in this platform, and it's very important to start building towards the image that you have of yourself as a professional. So we start with personal questions and things that we don't need to answer out loud right now, but it's cool to start thinking about that. It's a very simple, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be perceived as in a professional environment? And this answer is not separate from the person that you are on your day-to-day life. I feel like one of the most common misconceptions about this platform is that it's boring. And it's really not. It's really an opportunity to show your personality in a professional environment, but you have no idea of how important it is in today's hiring world to showcase who you are and the things of your personality that make you unique when that's paired with your skills and your background. Just like Anthony says, you do not need a 10-year experience in anything if you can be confident in who you are and what you know and what you can offer to the world. So these questions are important. Just why should people even listen to you? Who do you want to be heard by? Are you trying to enter a new um like a new industry, or is there a specific market that you want to participate in? And basically, what kind of career do you want? And I feel like these questions can be answered by taking the time to benchmark and look into other people's profiles and see how they're doing the thing. And sometimes it's not even LinkedIn only, but you can also have references from other professionals that have active presence online, and that's always very useful to kind of see what they're doing and start building your own little version of it as you continue to develop as a professional. So one thing that I really like from the marketing perspective is that everything is a project, right? And this is a very exciting part of your professional career and your development as a professional. It's just starting to make those steps towards the person that you want to be. And you need to think of yourself as a company. If you were a brand, like think of your favorite restaurant, your favorite fashion brand, just any other corporation that has media presence and online presence. Think of yourself as that. So then you need to pick these 5 things that are your tone of voice, just how you talk, what words do you use, are you um super professional in a way that you don't use emojis at all? Like, are you like that in a professional environment, or are you going to let your personality seep in a little bit more and kind of have your just your way of speaking? It's just about how good you are at translating yourself to a text post, or if you're going to be making videos. It depends on what you feel comfortable with. What's your niche? Like, where do you want to be known? How do you want to be known? What's the thing that you feel that you can teach to other people, that you can show that you're confident in doing? Who's your audience? I think that this is very important as well, because sometimes we forget that we build our own networks, meaning that on LinkedIn, you could be connecting with anyone, from colleagues to people that you admire to potential employers to just kind of people that might be showing you a window to your future dream career. So you need to keep that in mind when you are creating content, and as well when you continue to engage within the platform, because you don't know where your comment or your like is going to be showing. Like, it's impressive to see that sometimes when I'm managing Anthony's profile, for example, and I'm just like going through his stuff. And the algorithm for LinkedIn works in such a way that if you observe it, you're going to see that your interactions are appearing in people that you have no idea and that are potential connections and relationships that you really will value. So it is important to be always interacting or always engaging, because you never know in what feed you're going to be appearing. So that's why you got to be ready. Your profile has to be pretty ready, completed with all the information that it needs. Like, you need to have everything, because you never know who's watching, basically. Another very important part, I think, is your values. I feel like in today's world and as professionals and young professionals, it is important to think about what's important to you, because companies are going to be looking for people that align to their values as well, right? And it's not about tailoring yourself or just like making versions of yourself depending on where you want to work. It's more about knowing what things matter, so that when the time comes that you find yourself speaking to a potential employer or you start talking to other people from a different company, you are really good to identify like, hey, this is the type of crowd that I want to work with, or this is the type of people that will see a value in what I'm doing. So think about what those personal values are for you and really make sure that they show through every social interaction online that you make. And last but not least, I think your goals are super important to have. It's not you don't have to have all the answers to everything, and you don't have to for sure know what your main gigantic goal is today, but it is important to have an idea of where you're going and what kind of opportunities make you excited and what kind of rooms you want to be sitting in, what kind of people you want to be learning from. All of those things are important to just keep in mind so you have a sense of direction. And this all may sound like very big compared to it's just a social platform, but honestly you never know. And another important thing I feel is that we tend to forget that a digital footprint is forever. So this is a perfect moment to start directing who you are as you continue to grow as a person and a professional, because they do Google you a lot. As a part of the Handoff team, I've been surprised with how much we can find out about our talent pool with just a couple clicks. And especially in today's world with AI, you have no idea of all the things that we can find out about someone because it's all out there. So this is a beautiful moment to start being more intentional with what you're putting out there. And if you want to keep profiles very separated, you can also do that. And that's possible. You can be multiple people online, and that's perfect. But the idea is that your professional you has to be very public and very much out there, and you can control what you're saying about yourself. So just keep that in mind when you continue to post stuff. So, okay, that's
Great. Thank you. That's amazing. Okay, so get your brand nailed down, who you want to be, like Carla talked about, and then it's critical to optimize your profile. This is some kind of 101 stuff, but I'm just going to go through it quickly in case. We're also going to send these slides to everyone after. And make sure that you connect with us. I'm dropping my link in the chat. But profile picture, you want that thing to, and this is like, does not need to be professional photography. Pretty much most smartphones right now have a great camera. You just want to make sure that you're approachable, that you're smiling. There's not like you cut out with someone, that your arm was around someone and they're cut out of the picture. Like, just have a good picture. That's what someone's going to see. And you want them to have some type of connection with you. Your headline, a lot of times people will just put their actual job title in the headline, but you already have that in your experience. So your headline is actually an opportunity in your billboard, first thing someone is going to see, and we'll go a little bit further into that in upcoming slides. But you just want to talk a little bit about, what you're bringing, to the table, what's problems you solve, what's important to you. Experience, it's really important when you're outlining your experience from either volunteering, previous jobs, internship programs, that you try to be as data driven as possible. So show results versus just putting what your responsibilities were in that role. What type of impact did you make? If there's any way that you could come up with a number, like if you were supporting, I'm going to use social media as an example because that's what we're talking about, but maybe you could show that you got X amount of additional followers through your efforts, or you increased impressions by X percentage. Whenever you can use a metric, it's really helpful. But either way, try to be results driven in your experience. Your banner image, sometimes people will just have the banner on the top completely empty. And that's just such an easy win to jump in Canva or any tool, and you can create a really nice, well-designed banner, about section, kind of, who you are, what you do, how you do it. This allows you to expand on what you have in your headline. And then you have an opportunity, if you have any cool posts or you have anything that you want to drive people to, a website, maybe your portfolio, there's a featured section that you can actually leverage to save some different posts or projects that will be visible to people before they get to your main feed. We'll give you an example of what two different profiles can look like, one that's not optimized. So Mr. Teddy, the homie, uh, this is the same dog, has the same experience, it's the same everything except for presentation, right? So I mean, obviously this is like the two opposite sides of the spectrum, but you can just see you got your banner up top, clean profile picture, your headline is under your name, and then so on and so forth.
The funniest part of this is that I actually went through LinkedIn and just typed a random name because I was sure that I would find an empty profile. And then I just kind of changed the name and everything. But it is so random to see a profile that has no picture, no banner, no anything. And it's just like interests, Barack Obama. And that's it. So imagine if someone goes into your profile and you just have like random interests and nothing else, right? And the profile building tool, like the thing that is integrated for you to complete your profile, is so straightforward that is just a matter of taking the time to do it. And I also want to add that maybe you should have like a reminder every 2 months or something to go in there and update, because then you forget. It's really easy to forget what you're doing and the experience that you're acquiring, especially as you move on. So make sure to always like jump in and see if there's anything new that you can say, because the idea of this is for it to not have like crazy gaps or anything, but to constantly just keep updating on what you're doing and what's your experience. And I left here in the presentation, as Anthony said, you're gonna get this anyways, but you can go through it and just do a little audit of your own profile and see if you need some work to do.
Yeah, perfect. I won't go into this one.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then leverage AI. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever your favorite tool is, that's like an easy place to just hop in to try to work on your banner, your about section, experience. And I think it would be great if we can actually just do this as a live exercise. You don't have to share your screen, but if you all could hop in to your favorite AI chat tool and we can do this exercise, and then maybe we can get you to share a couple of them. I'd say we start with the headline. I'll give you guys a second. I'd imagine you have those tools handy in a tab or in an app. Okay. Let's do I'm going to give you specifically what to say. It'll be a little bit different than this headline prompt. So, um, this is the prompt. So, write me 10 LinkedIn headlines. Write me 10 LinkedIn headlines. You know what? Let me drop this. Let me do you a solid. Just do copy paste this. I'm gonna help you help me. So I just dropped it in the chat. Write me 10 LinkedIn headlines. I am, and then you put your major, student, job title. I'll leave that up to you. Recently completed an internship at Elevate Plus. Nah, at the company that you're working for right now. And then the career path you're interested in, which we all talked about already. And then you're just going to add a little, make it professional, memorable, under 70 characters. And you can freestyle a little bit if you want to change, the professional, memorable to something like if you want it to be funky, like whatever. It can be, you can add your own taste, but all right, whenever, and then let's see what it spits out and choose one that you like out of the 10. Hopefully there's one out of 10. The point is though that you don't want to necessarily just copy paste what you get, out of the LLM, but to not just start from a blank canvas. So a lot of times it's helpful to get the creative juices going. And then usually I make some tweaks. Raise your hand if you're open to sharing one or two of your headlines. We can only do one though. No. Okay, here we go. Go for it, Joyce.
The one it said was the best is aspiring high school chemistry teacher, chemistry, bachelor's in science and master's in teaching student.
Got you. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. You also will get the slides after for some prompts here that I think might be better than the prompt I gave you to drive the chat to what you do, who you help, and why it matters. You can might want to add that into whatever the 10 came up with for you to see if that works better. All right, move.
Sorry, just to add that there are some trendy formats for those headlines these days. They keep changing like every year or something, but something that I've seen very common in LinkedIn profiles is that they have, like, for example, your chemistry one, they add like this like divider between thing and thing, so it's cleaner to read and it's not just like one long sentence, but you have like dividers between it. And for some reason that's working. So I'll just give you that. And if you want to implement it in your own profile, that's cool. Hold on, let me get rid of all your faces. It's weird when you're talking, you can't see the videos of anyone else. So one thing is having your profile and making it look how it's supposed to and all the information, but your job doesn't end there. You also have to use the website, use the app. So I would recommend downloading the LinkedIn app, and just having it open constantly, because it's just like any other social platform. You have to be there and you have to post and you have to engage with other people. I would even dare to say that engaging with other people is more important than posting daily. So whenever you feel like, oh, I don't want to be making content like just for LinkedIn, just post something from time to time, but do try to make time to jump in and interact with other people, because that's what the every social platform wants, right? Like they want you in there and they want you doing things. But think that this platform in particular might actually get you a job or something, so it's worth the effort to just be in there, try to connect with all your colleagues, and you'll see how the website is just suggesting you people constantly. So try to check like what other network suggestions you have, because you never know. Like you start seeing people from your high school, you start seeing people like your teachers, and just like it starts growing and growing. So I would recommend just starting with one post a week tops, like just something that you're learning at your current job or your internship or in school. Just try and post something really quickly. It works like any other social platform in a sense that pictures work best and will behave best for the algorithm. So if you have a picture and you have a little caption or like just a text that you want to share, that's going to work. But I would recommend to explore all the different posting options that it has, because you can also do articles, you can do polls, you can do videos. Like there are so many ways that you can communicate something. So yeah, just share your wins, share your insights. You'll be surprised of how like business specific it can be and how relaxed it can be at the same time. There's people that do post very socially about what they're doing, or hey, I'm reading this book, and that's going to make other people engage. So and also don't feel like you have to come up with everything by yourself. Obviously we live in a world where everything you write can be improved with AI. Never post just what it came out from AI. Never do that, because we can tell. Everybody can tell, especially employers. We can tell when it's all AI. So always make it yours. It's never wrong to make your own version of everything. And the more human and the more real and warm it feels, the more it's going to connect with other people. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you. And obviously, liking, commenting, resharing, and just obviously interacting all the time. If people comment on your stuff, that's gold. You should be replying. even if it's just an emoji. Like, don't think about it too much, but do make sure that every interaction you get has a response. And for example, you can be very, very strategic with this, because let's say that you know that you wanted to apply to a scholarship or an internship, or you want to apply to this job for this specific company. If I were you, I would be looking up who works there, connecting with them on LinkedIn, start throwing your little hearts at them way before you apply. And you can be very, very strategic with every interaction that you have there. And that might make your chances of getting hired better, obviously. So you're always a couple clicks away from finding out anything you want on the internet. So if you're interested about something specific, look for that person, look for those people, and start connecting with them. And you never know what can happen. And last advice is to tag people. I feel like one of the things that LinkedIn likes, the like they like to see community building. So if you post something and you were in school with your friend who also has a LinkedIn profile, go and tag them, and that's going to help boost the post itself. So those are very easy things that you could be doing. You're muted, AG.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Speaking of posting, there you have an opportunity right now. You don't have to post it right now, but this is an easy win, because a lot of times people are like, well, what do I post? I'm not sure. Uh, an idea that you could even do immediately is to take a picture of your desktop right now, your setup, take a screenshot of this screen, LinkedIn Masterclass with the group on here. And then you could come up with a prompt to say, like, like thankful to have joined this LinkedIn Masterclass hosted by Elevate Plus, etc. Main thing, like Carla talked about, tag each other, tag your peers in this group, tag Andrew, Carla, myself, and then post it. That's it. You know what I mean? You have an image, a team on there, a lot of different faces, the slide, tag folks. This is a way. There we go. Let's go, Andrew.
I'm even gonna go to the main, like the opening slide, so it looks prettier for you guys. And that way you can take a picture. And I don't know who's taking a picture, but we're all smiling for the picture. Yeah, these are easy wins, guys.
Okay. So that's just think about the stuff that you're doing in your day to day that you would want your network to know, or want a potential person that's hiring you to know, that you're not only, that you're taking advantage of internships, right? You're going to college, but you're also doing other activities outside of that to help elevate yourself, right? So that's something that you want to push out there to the world. You can inspire someone, tag people that you're involved with. These are like easy wins to start getting more and more content within your feed. So yeah, hopefully we see a couple posts. I'm looking for some tags hopefully soon. All right, so we'll dive into some questions. I just want to say, like, the biggest opportunities that I've had in my career, and even now in having my own business, like, didn't come from just applying for something or just waiting. They came from relationships, right? And not just LinkedIn, but also in my personal life, going to in-person events, like making connections and always trying to add value. And so that's something that you can also do in LinkedIn. When you think about what you're posting, it's cool sometimes to say, like, here's what I need. I'm looking for this job, or like, I just did this thing. But the more that you can provide value based on your expertise, based on your skills, based on what you know that others might not know, is really where it's at. Put as much value out there into the world and everything you do. And that's going to open a lot of doors for you, and things are just going to come your way naturally. So with that, thanks again for your participation. Happy to jump into any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Anthony and Carla. That was awesome. And while people are formulating their questions, I just want to tag on to what Anthony just said. And I'll give you a real life example of a young person, a student who reached out to me last year, really late in the internship cycle, and said, "Oh, my friend is interning with Elevate Plus. Do you have any more opportunities? I'm looking for a summer job." And we did it. Everything was filled. And I said, go come back to us next year. We connected on LinkedIn. And then I started seeing this young man post regularly. And it was really, really thoughtful commentary on his experience in school, his classes, what he was doing to pursue his career. And every week he would get more and more likes. And I was expecting him to reach back out to say, okay, I'm ready to apply for an internship. But he then suddenly posted about this great internship. I can't remember where he's working, but I remember being really impressed that he got this fantastic internship. And I'm pretty sure it was because he became so visible. And to Anthony's point, was adding value and providing commentary that attracted a following and it expanded his exposure. I don't like it's weird. I love talking, I love being in these forums, and I sometimes it's hard to get me to shut up. But I don't like being in the public view on platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. I kind of do some of that stuff reluctantly, especially LinkedIn. And I had somebody come to me and say, very good at marketing and her own personal brand. And I would kind of hide behind the Elevate Plus account, and I would post as Elevate Plus, not as Andrew Walker. And she said, the mistake you're making is posting as Elevate Plus. You need to post as Andrew Walker because people know you. You are the person they identify with. They're not searching through LinkedIn for Elevate Plus, but if they see you in their thread, they're gonna notice and they're gonna like it. And so I've had to get comfortable doing that, and I do it now much more often than using the Elevate account. Almost never do that now. I think Carolyn's using that account in addition to her own. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is it can be uncomfortable, but if you start doing it, it will pay off. And to Anthony's other point and Carla's other point, it doesn't have to be perfect. It will get better over time, but you have to start somewhere and you have to stick to it. And you will find that you're going to attract followers, you're going to get more likes, and it will lead to your next opportunity. I'm positive. So I will now be quiet again and just see, do you guys have any questions or thoughts, concerns, anything? So Carol's asked a question. When thinking about posting on LinkedIn, how do you decide what to post or not to post? Good question.
Carla?
To post or not to post, I think that the first filter would be, is it adding any value? Because sometimes this particular, well, all social media sometimes feels like that. Like everyone is posting their wins and look at me, I did this, I did that. But the most important thing about LinkedIn is that it's a little deeper than just like, hey, look at me, I'm so cool. It's more about, I learned something and now I can teach you something, right? So I think that it's more about, what do you think is going to add to your personal brand? Meaning that if I go through your profile and I see that you are constantly talking about the books you're reading and this cool activity that you do on Sundays. I am a part of this sports team or whatever, and also I'm doing my internship here. All of that adds to the persona that you're creating, right? And I feel like I know you, so that's really, really cool. So it's just a balance. Is it adding value to other people? That's awesome. Is it adding value to your profile because now I get to know you better? That's awesome as well. Yeah, I guess that's pretty
I
much
would
it.
I would just add to not overthink it. To
Yeah.
just probably lean towards just posting it, especially in the beginning, like have a quick, question to yourself, like, what is my goal with this post? What is it going to accomplish? Is it the right network to post it in? But like, I would just start posting, just go. You know what I mean? Like, that LinkedIn is a pretty friendly network, right? People are not like trolling you, like, you know what I mean? It's like most people are really trying to cheer you on and help promote you. So I think that in my experience has been a really safe place to be able to put stuff out there, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Sometimes it's almost better to be imperfect with the age of AI. Like when I make a typo, I'm happy about it because people know that I actually typed it out. And so I would just say to just get started, to push yourself, and then you'll find your groove.
That's so funny, Anthony, because I do typos all the time, and that's what I tell myself. Well, at least they know it was me who
Yeah,
did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have to go back and edit. But and just as a challenge for you guys, if you're wondering what to post about, if you don't have other ideas, people want to know what you're doing this summer. So some of you I've seen have announced your internships, which is awesome, and I've started to see other interns liking those. You're kind of crossing each other and helping each other. But do a hey, I'm excited to say I'm working at all the way up this summer, Joyce, and this is the kind of work I'm doing. And then maybe weekly, just saying, hey, this is what happened this week, and you can be real. You can say, I messed up. I made a mistake. This is what I did about it, and here's what I've learned. Or here's a success, or here's how I reached somebody, or here's how I supported the organization I'm working for. Those are things that are really, really easy to do, and you can think of it in the moment of, I met these new people in my office, and then you tag them, and then suddenly your post is not only being exposed to your connections, but to all of their connections.
Mhm.
So just some ideas in terms of planting some seeds for what you might think about doing. Any other questions or comments? Joyce.
I had a question because um my LinkedIn profile is really empty because I didn't know how to post, but I have a lot of stuff that I would like to post from like April and March, but I don't know if it's too late to post it, if that makes sense.
No,
Probably not.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think so. I mean, I think it would be rare unless it was something very specific and timely that, like, Happy Easter or something like that. Or but I think that it's fine if it's, you know what I mean, that you just want to get that stuff out there, into the world. You could even say like, man, it's been crazy, like, spring or summer. Like have all this stuff I've been wanting to put out there to the world. You could share it, or you could just share it without mentioning that it's from back then, which is not that long ago.
Yeah.
Gil?
Hey, sorry. So you often spoke about personal branding as a tool for growth. Was there a specific moment in your career, and this could go like both Anthony and Carla, where you realized the impact that sharing your story could have on your relationships and opportunity?
Carla, you want me to take that, or
Yeah.
ladies
I'm
first?
thinking. I'm thinking about my
Okay.
answer, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch. So, like, what popped in my head first was um, is going to events in person and people actually coming up and telling me, like, one, and Andrew mentioned something about posting if you mess up. I think it's really important to be authentic and to put things out there, that you're struggling with. So many other people are struggling with the same thing, and a lot of times people are not honest and don't put those things out there. And I posted something about our business of, we were already in the beginning of 2026. We were like weeks into January and we hadn't done our yearly goals. Like there was no goals. And this was in my head beating myself up. Like we're in a new year. Like we haven't done our goals, like what kind of CEO am I? And I just posted it like our goals are not done. It's about to be February. We're still growing. We're taking care of our clients. Like, you know what I mean? But like this thing, like everything is not perfect, so if you are out there and you haven't done this, like don't beat yourself up, you know what I mean? Like this is not everything is a straight line. And people came up to me like at an event, that I was at later, and were like, oh, I love that you post that. I didn't do my goals either, and I was so stressed out. So it was like so nice to see you honestly talk about something going on in your business. Like I felt like I wasn't alone, and like I shouldn't be beating myself up. And so that was like, it's not always that easy to see, how a post is directly affecting someone, but that was like pretty crystal clear. And then motivated me to want to continue to do that. And I have a team that helps me with my posts. And so I'm telling them all the time, like, let's keep it real. Like, here's what's going on. And I'll just start telling them everything that's going on, and we'll come up with some post ideas from that.
I actually have a follow-up for that, sorry.
Sure.
Um, so have there ever been a times where like you felt like something you wanted to post maybe felt risky and or um like not professional or I don't know how to formulate the question. It's more so like um
That could be risky for sure. Like that was not super risky, but there could be times where I want to maybe talk about something where I have to think about my clients are also, looking at what I'm posting. And if I say something about what's going on in the company, that might be a big challenge that they could maybe be concerned about that. So use your discretion. You know what I mean? Like maybe LinkedIn might not be always the right place. I might talk to my business coach about something, you know what I mean? But like that's pretty rare. Most of the time it's just probably more my ego, that I need to just get through to like push myself to be out there. And it actually makes you more relatable, and people actually really appreciate that. Because the a lot of time you looked at, if you just look at LinkedIn, it sounds like the world is perfect. Everybody's winning. You know what I mean? Like everybody crushed their goals. They 10x their revenue. They got the best
Mhm.
job. And like, and it's actually refreshing to see someone that is being honest about what's going on.
thank you.
Great questions.
Uh,
Thank you, Angel.
Carla, did you want to add anything before we move on?
No.
Okay, cool. Naira, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you because I will also say I'm very reluctant to post on LinkedIn. And what Carla said before, I also thought LinkedIn was kind of boring, so I never really wanted to post on there. But then I realized I look people up on LinkedIn all the time, so I should probably have a good LinkedIn as well. But it's just like a follow-up question to Joyce's question. Um I have stuff from like years ago that I did, but I never really posted. Should I still try to like add that into my LinkedIn as like a throwback or like make it as a
Yeah.
post or what should I do?
Yeah, I think that the cool thing about LinkedIn is not as time sensitive as other platforms. Like you would feel forced on Instagram to be like, throwback to this thing. No one cares on LinkedIn. Like you can just post it. And especially if it's something that is going to be connected to a job experience or something that you're going to be highlighting, then just go for it. And a little connected to the last question and just the idea of LinkedIn being boring, I feel like one of the most important discoveries as a young professional that's entering the corporate world and everything is that things are not as boring as they look from the outside. It depends on where you work, obviously, but for example, me working at Handoff, it's such a fun place to be in where they really celebrate who you are and your personality that I realized that I didn't have to be like put on a suit and a tie every single day, obviously. So once that you understand that you can do the same thing for your socials, and in this case, LinkedIn, it does not have to be boring if you're not boring. And if you start spending time inside the platform, you're going to start to identify that there are like certain groups of people, like there are LinkedIn influencers posting today, like there are LinkedIn gurus for different things, and you can start really learning from other people that are content creators in a way, just in a professional environment. So I would say go in there and post whatever old things that you have, and that will prompt you to talk about new things. And it's just like get the machine going into like just communicating who you are, and you're gonna find creative ways to do that that really align to your personality.
And Naira, I may have misinterpreted your question, but I was thinking of what you've done in that sort of resume section, not just an individual post, but absolutely any work you've done that can help promote your brand because it's given you valuable experience that somebody will appreciate or want. You should put that in there, even if it was 5 years ago. What I learned is I used to have, I'm now at the end of my career, and I had absolutely everything I ever did in LinkedIn. And then I read, you really shouldn't go back that far. And you don't have to put, because nobody's going to read that. Nobody cares. But you guys at the start of your career really should be capturing all those things. And you've heard Carolyn say this in job readiness and in other forums. You want to write down what you're doing as you do it over the summer so that you can go back and put that in your LinkedIn profile. So you had a fantastic internship and these are the things you did. And this is how you contributed to the organization. So just keep a little notebook, or your to-do list can also kind of prompt those recollections. But that's how you keep that stuff current.
Andrew, just to add to that point, in my previous job, I was working with fraternities and different fraternities here in the States. And one thing that I noticed about their profiles is that most of these guys had perfect LinkedIn profiles, and they were including their job experience from like since they were 16. If they worked at something when they were very young, they would include that. As you say, in this time in their lives, it is important to showcase as much as they've done, because for employers that's actually very impressive, right? If you're someone that has a working culture and since you were very little, or like experiences such as that, throw it in there. And the older you get, you're going to be like, okay, this doesn't matter anymore. But for now, everything matters.
Cool. And we have 2 minutes. There's, I think, one last slide, but at least one more slide. But do you have the QR code or do I have that, Carla?
Oh, can you? I'm sorry, I didn't include it into the template.
Okay, that's cool. I've got it, but I'll pull it up, or
Thank you.
I'll just put the
Yeah.
link in the chat. So we do really want everyone's feedback on this session. So let me just put it in the chat. If you guys could, before you run away, open this link and provide your feedback on the session. It's very valuable for us for multiple reasons. Any nice comments we can use for our own posts about the impact we're making. Any constructive feedback helps us modify and improve. So, and as you've heard me say before, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. So don't be afraid of making us uncomfortable if you have some constructive feedback. Anthony put his link in. Please do connect with him. He has well, this is probably old data, but at least 10,000 followers. Very, very well connected. Carla, I imagine, is quickly approaching that. She's awesome. So Carla, if you haven't put your link in there, maybe it's a challenge for them to find you. And then mine's in there because I put it in as an example of what Carla was talking about. But if we're not connected, please do connect and connect with each other and like each other's posts, because that does make a difference. It feeds the algorithm and you'll get more eyeballs on what you're doing. That's my spiel. Anthony or Carla, do you have anything else to say?
I just wanted to say, feel free to shoot either of us a DM if any other questions come up. You know what I mean? If you are curious about a post that you want to put out there, you want to run it by us to just get our feedback. Like Carla's really great at that, looking at posts and making sure that they're formatted right. And then more importantly, if there's some career that you're going after, a partnership, a deal you're trying to close later in your career, whatever it is, and you see that I'm a mutual connection there, then let me know, and I'm more than happy to make a warm introduction to you. So that is key in like most of the success we've had as a business, or me as a professional, is being able to leverage my network to open doors. So I'm here for you. We are here for you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye.